from Robert that Arwen will stay for a week probably. And for me, it may be too long because I came to visit Robert and I would like to be with him alone.
I stated quite clearly that she doesn't want anything to do with Arwen.
There is a space to hang out on battery. You see, there is space to hang out something. Very different people and we have different interests. I'm very ambitious and she's not. And she has attitude.
All right, hold up. I feel like we heard enough right here, right now. Talking about how Arwen's got attitude. I mean, you know what? I'm not even going to get into Robert just yet in terms of his disgusting behavior in this situation. But to say that Arwen is rude as if you're not is bizarre to me.
Before she'd even met Arwen, Assel made it quite clear that she was in competition with Arwen. She stated a number of times that she doesn't want to be the number 2 woman.
So who in their right mind would date a woman, plan to marry a woman, that does not want anything to do with your own child, your only child? Make that make sense. Honestly, Robert, disappointed in you. You should be disappointed in yourself. If a woman comes in and she doesn't even want to try and connect with your child, how is that not a red flag? I don't even know what flag that is, to be fair. It can't be a red flag. It has to be beyond that, to be honest with you. It's absolutely absurd. But he still wants to continue being in a relationship with her, despite the fact that he has no intentions whatsoever of ever being, you know, good friends or a good role model or just having some kind of healthy relationship with her child. She sees your child as a threat to your relationship. She sees your child as competition. Who comes into someone's life and says, hey, because you've got a child of that same sex as me, I'm going to see your child as my competition. Imagine me walking into a woman's life. She's got a son, teenage boy. And I'm like, Not even that. Or a young adult. And I'm like, you're my competition. Make that make sense. In what world does that make sense? Wow. But he wants to continue as if everything is freaking okay.
But she's got to understand that Arwen is my daughter. She's a huge part of my life. And if me and Assel are going to have a life together and kids together, then she's going to be a huge part of that life as well.
You know what, though? You got it wrong. She doesn't need to understand that, to be honest with you. What you need to understand is that she doesn't give a damn about that. That's what you need to understand. And that means you need to walk away. Because you can't change someone else. If this is how she is, then that is exactly how Assel is. Therefore, you got to make a stance of either leaving or making it abundantly clear that she needs to humble herself and be respectful to your daughter. But like I said before, you can't expect to change other people. So whilst he's sitting there thinking, oh, she needs to understand this and that, which I do agree she does, he has to understand, though, that she doesn't care to understand. Therefore, you're better off walking away. By the way, subscribe, please, like the video and comment. Let's continue.
A spoiled, disrespectful and ungrateful child. We can have Arwen's portion. Yeah.
So because Arwen does not like your food, that means that she's spoiled or disrespectful, blah, 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 blah. I mean, listen, not everyone's food is for everybody. Right, come on. Why are you being sensitive for? Stop it. But it's just crazy because each time Assel describes Arwen, I just sit there and I'm saying, I sit there and I'm like, so basically you're talking about yourself. You're describing his child in this way, but in reality, you're talking about yourself. It's that simple. But hey, some people in this world only want to see what they want to see. And they never want to see anything else but that. Those are the kind of people who are generally never happy themselves. Those are the kind of people probably struggle making other people happy. Those are the kind of people that probably bring the mood down in any room that they walk into. Because they're always so dull, miserable, and ready to complain. Why? Because it's not all about them. And even when it's about them, they still want to complain that things are not in the perfect order that they need things to be. So in reality, I think people like that should definitely be alone. Should not be seeking to be in a relationship and bringing someone else down. You know, I like Robert. He seems like a very happy guy. His energy is in the right place. You know, he's always smiling. He's always trying to be on the upbeat. And he has a very interesting relationship with his daughter, you know, but it's a beneficial one for them both. So they're always like on the bright side. The second that Assel comes in now, his mood, it still stays the same somehow, but at the same time, you can see that she's trying to drain the living hell out of his mood. Because she just wants everything to be like him. And everything to be all about her. Robert needs to do this. I don't like the way he dresses. He needs to change that. I don't like his home. He needs to upgrade his home. His home is a bit too old school. I don't like his daughter. She's in competition with me. You know how everything is said in such a mono, boring, draining, freaking attitude? Wow. Her personality is a representation of the UK weather, to be honest with you. Just grey. Grey and depressing for the most part. People wonder why people in the UK can come across quite miserable and rude. If you've not seen our sky, right now we're in August. We're in July and it's meant to be summer. But guess what? It's been raining the whole of July and the skies have been predominantly grey. You wonder why some of us come here sometimes we're like, our soul's attitude is pretty much the representation. And to be fair, given the fact they did live in Scotland, I can't imagine the skies being that how they are there. So in reference to the sky being grey and the weather being terrible, no wonder why he's coupled with a woman like ourselves, because I guess she's a representation of the weather even in the UK. Probably more Scotland than anything else. Maybe that's why he's okay with her being, the weather can't drag me down, ain't no woman gonna drag me down. So it is what it is. I'll just settle for anyone who comes in my life. You see how I just made sense out of her personality based on the freaking weather in the UK? It's bizarre, isn't it? Maybe that's the only reason, that's the only excuse that I can give for him accepting to being with a woman like her. The only reason. Apart from that, nothing else makes sense to me. But hey, you continue.
I prefer that it was just me and Robert. There is already competition between me and Arwen, you know, for Robert's attentions.
Hey.
So they've gone out on a date, but obviously, you know, I still expect the date to be just her and Robert. But of course, Arwen has come. And here's the thing though, she needs to understand something. Arwen lives in London, okay? And she comes and sees her dad every now and then, as much as he goes and sees her every now and then. So of course, whenever his daughter's around, that is his time to spend time with his daughter as much as he can, but he has to cherish those moments. Now, end of the day, it just happens to coincidence that you decided to fly in the same week that, of course, his daughter was down too. There's nothing you can do about it. But at the same time, though, why would he not want you to gain a relationship with his child? Make that make sense. Why would he not want to do that? You know? But of course, because they've gone axe throwing and whatnot, well, Assel definitely got competitive and got upset at the fact that Arwen was a better axe thrower than her too. Just to add that, just for insult injury. Hey, you know, at the end of the day in life, you can't have it all. But to be honest with you, this isn't even one of those situations where you can't have it all. This is one of those very simple situations where you have to take your head out of your freaking ass and be like, hey, I should be doing what I can to bond with your child. If I love you and I want to be with you, then of course, anything that you love, I should be in a position where I should or at least try to love as well. And it's not like as if like his daughter's rejecting her. No, it's a matter where she's just coming and boom, straight off the bat, she's already rejected his daughter. But hey, Assel will sit there and tell you that she's rude, disrespectful, spoiled. Wow. Coming for the person that walked into someone's house and goes through their drawers to change their underwear and change their tops. Okay, whatever you say, buddy. With that being said, don't forget to like, sub, and of course.